Hi everybody, my name is Sarah Kyleman. I would like to thank you for coming to this training session on being the boss, leading without losing respect. Now, today many organizations, the leaders of those organizations are losing the respect of their employees. What are some reasons you think may be for this, the loss of the respect that the leaders are experiencing?
Pushing the employees too hard.
Okay.
Talking down to the employee.
Okay.
Not listening to their ideas.
Okay. Any other maybe ideas or no? Those are good ideas. Oh, I'm sorry.
Karen,
No, actually, I was thinking, and probably not more so because it's the leader's fault, but people are losing respect because there is no money for raises.
Good.
And,
Yeah. And
you know,
there's
and they need to blame somebody, so usually it's
The
who they
upper
work for.
management.
Yes.
Okay, good. Like many of you guys haven't mentioned that some of the reasons why these employees are losing respect to their bosses is because, I picked 3 good quotes that I found. There's changes in the organization that are happening in the workplace that are causing frustration, and they're getting angry, whether it's because of the money, they're not getting paid enough, or whatever the reason may be. But because there's frustration, they're taking it out on the organization, so they're taking it out on the leaders. Another reason is, the management they're not working, they're not being civil with the employees, and because of that, there's conflict and there's lack of respect there. And another reason is these people that are coming into the workforce, they're very knowledge. They're very smart in what they're doing, whatever it may be. And because they're being very smart, the employers are being very hard on them, and because of that, that's causing dissent and also other discouragement and loss of respect on their part. The question opened up a big problem that we have in the workplace right now. One of the conflicts is power through coercion. Okay, many bosses are leading with force, but leading with extreme force is not being tough on their employees. Leading with extreme force is being bullied. Okay, many employees are feeling like they're being bullied instead of having the tough love that you may get from like a parent or other higher management or authority. You may ask, what is tough though? Being tough is obtaining the best performance by setting high expectations from his or her subordinates. Okay, when somebody feels like they're being bullied, on the other hand, it's repeated or less favorable treatment of a person by another in the workplace, which may be considered unreasonable or inappropriate workplace practice. It includes behavior that intimidates, offends, degrades, or humiliates a worker, especially if it's done in front of another employee or worker. Now, what does bullying do to organization? It actually, you may not think of when you hear somebody say that they're being bullied, you may not think of the consequences that it causes, but one of the consequences is that it increases health insurance premiums. Now, why would it go to your health insurance? Well, a reason that it does that is because people are missing work and having to go to the doctor because of stress-related issues. They're very stressed out, so they're taking their health insurance and they're using it towards doctors that can help them with the stress. They're getting sick through it. They're just not healthy because of the stress at work. Absenteeism. People aren't just coming to work. Why come to work? I'm feeling very bullied. I'm not enjoying it. I don't like it. So they're just not coming to work. And when people don't come to work, I'm dropping down to the bottom. It's going to increase or decrease the production and your profits overall. Back up to the middle. It also discourages the dissent, openness, innovation, change, and risk-taking. People aren't going to go out of the box for you, for their leaders and for their bosses, if they feel like they're being bullied. They're going to kind of hold back and stay within the closet in the dark, and they're not going to go that extra mile for you. And finally, there's going to be an increase of covering oneself. Okay, you're not going to do something if you're not strong enough to back yourself up for it. You know, they're going to start looking out for number one. They're not going to be working as a team. It's all about me and I, not we and us. So, what do you do when the respect is gone? You know, how do you get your respect back from your employees when it's gone? Step back and evaluate the way that you are leading. Evaluate yourself as a boss and as a leader within your organization. What are you doing to manage your employees? Is it the right way to do it? Is it the wrong way? What are ways that you can do to improve it if it's not the right way? What are your employees doing right? What are your employees doing wrong? You know, are you guys on the same page? Are you wanting this from your employees, but they're doing this? How do you make it so that you guys are on the same page together? How do they react to your leadership? You know, how do they feel about your techniques? In front of you, I gave you guys I call it the good and the ugly. You know, these are common leadership traits that people are experiencing and people are noticing within like a good leader, okay? But there's a good and bad to it. For each of the good traits are on top, and then the most common bad traits are on the bottom. There's positive and negative sides to each of these traits. You know, how are you balancing these traits when you're leading your employees? Are you being too negative on all of them? Are you being positive on all of them? You know, there's certain ways to manage your employees. How are you doing it with your traits? So these are for you guys to keep. You know, look through them. Lead while keeping the respect. Okay, this here, these are just 9 little tips that I found through my research. That are the most common that I found that I want to share with you guys. Okay, before you lead, be trained on how to lead. Okay, we're getting to the point where, you know, a lot of managers are coming from this step, and they're being promoted, they're not being trained on how to be a manager. So make sure that you're trained on how to be a leader, how to manage your employees. Keep an open door policy, okay? Employees feel a whole lot better when they feel like they're able to go and speak to their employers about a topic, about an issue, about whatever. You know, have that kind of connection and that relationship with your employees where they can talk to you. Involve employees with the development of working plans or activities without compromising any kind of organization standards. You know, keep them involved, have their input. I know you mentioned, I think Jim, you mentioned and people feel like they don't get their input in the beginning with losing their respect. Have their input, okay? Get their opinions. Provide a consistent and supportive environment that is free of fear. Like I mentioned before, people aren't going to come to you if they feel like, you know, they're going to be looked down upon right away, if they feel like they're going to get fired or anything like that. They want to feel like if they come with you an idea, you're going to say, okay, good idea, I'll think about it. Or just some kind of positive reaction from it. Remain focused on what needs to be changed. If there's an issue that needs to be changed, don't try and like stay away from the issue and not address it. Address the issue that needs to be changed, but don't be focused on the issue, not on the person. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we do that. Yeah. That's a Purdue thing.
Fight for your employees when needed. If there's an issue, they're putting in a lot of time, they're being, you know, they're one of those employees that go way beyond what they're supposed to, and they're not being recognized for it by upper management. Tell your management about them, you know, let them feel like that they are worthy and they have value to your organization.
Pause.
Mm-hmm.